Everybody, happy Monday. BobbyFi here for my 5 and 5 plays of the day. Pretty good weekend golf wise. Know a lot of people were really close. I know some people did really well from the True DFS side on baseball. Everybody seems to be enjoying it. Jump on into the Discord if you don't have the link already. It's still free. Also, you can sign up now at truedfs.com for all sheets of sheets, which that guy is just absolutely crushing. Now importable to the site of your choice. We can export it and then load it into the other optimizers. Also, wanted to let you guys know that yeah, it's free for a month, 35 bucks a month after that. Give it a try. Let us know what you think, and hopefully you'll join. But with that said, let's get to the plays of the day. Small slate today, so we're gonna have to try and get a little bit different. It's going to be hard to do because there are some good offenses that you really want to take advantage of tonight, but at the same time, I think you're going to see such condensed ownership on those, especially the high price players in those games. So we're going to try and find ways to get a little bit different. So this is not way off the board by any means, but I could see the ownership slipping a little bit potentially if people spend up elsewhere, and that's Jose Ramirez for Cleveland. He's 5.7. You could definitely fit him in. He's definitely going to have ownership. Don't get me wrong. I just think that his upside versus Castillo, who, again, I even like Castillo a little bit tonight, but I think that Jose Ramirez has as much upside as anybody on the slate, arguably the most. And I think people are going to use that money to spend elsewhere. I think he's in a great spot. Even with Castillo will challenge you. Obviously, the power speed upside coming off a game, a couple stolen bases for Ramirez hasn't really flashed the power upside quite as much over the last week, but does still have 6 home runs in his last 12 games. And I think he's a really, really good bet to have a chance to let's call it a jack in the bag to refer to an old Pepsi 7 saying. I think Jose Ramirez is a really good, not off the board, but high spending, play that's not one of the main 4 stacks on this slate. To that, I want to speak to another guy, which is Trent Grisham for San Diego. I don't think San Diego is going to get quite the love, and Grisham down at the bottom of the order certainly shouldn't have much ownership, even on a 5-game slate or a 4-game slate, depending on which site you're playing on. I think Trent Grisham is an excellent play at 4.3. I just don't see people going there. 4 out of his last 5 games, actually 4 games in a row that he actually started. He pinch hit the last game, double-digit fantasy points. The guy's got tremendous power. He's got speed, and I love him even at the bottom of Miami lineup. Against Thompson tonight. I think Thompson's a decent enough pitcher, but we're trying to get a little bit different. So playing a guy like Grisham in the outfield, I think, is a good way to do that today. Everybody's going to play Castellanos, et cetera, in the same price range, and I think that he's a terrific way to get off the board on DraftKings. Next, we're going to talk about Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is obviously in a great spot against KC and Hernandez tonight. I like all of the big bats: Judge, Stanton, Gallo. And Judge has just been the one he's the best. He's the safest for sure points because he's going to walk at least once probably. Obviously, there's the strikeout downside, but I think Judge is a great place to start your cash games. He's the player, along with Gallo, that I'm most interested in from the Yankees tonight. I know he's a little bit chalkier, but we want to mix in some chalky plays with some potentially lower owned plays, and I think Judge is a great guy to play at pretty high ownership tonight. Yohan Moncada, we know that Moncada, the White Sox have been facing a ton of lefties recently, and that's not Moncada's thing. He's a much better hitter left-handed than he is right-handed, and obviously a switch hitter. He has been seeing the ball well. The walks are up lately. I think that there's upside for him both from a stolen base perspective and a power perspective. And again, I don't see people being able to go there. I know I mentioned Ramirez also at third base, but I think both those guys are terrific plays that I don't think are going to have maybe quite the ownership outside of stacks that they should. The last one I'm going to mention is a popular one in general, you'd think, but doesn't actually get the ownership. And in a lefty-lefty matchup, I'm not sure where it'll go. Joey Votto obviously has been the best hitter in baseball over the past 3 weeks by like a long, long, long shot. I believe he has 13 home runs in 18 games. It's either 12 or 13 in 18 games. That's a phenomenal number. The guy's seeing the ball incredibly well, looks really, really comfortable at the plate. I want to take advantage of this new swing Gallo has and keep playing him. His walks are down, which is great for us for DFS. I think people will play the Castellanos. I think people will play Votto even some. But at 5.8, do people want to play him in the lefty-lefty matchup? Would they maybe rather play Abreu? Would they maybe rather spend up elsewhere? I just think that Votto, if the ownership we think is going to be anywhere below 20%, is a terrific play at 5.8K on DraftKings. Obviously, can't play him on FanDuel, but I think he's an awesome play in all formats. I think you could even argue for him in cash with the way the slate goes. I do want to mention that there is some weather to be concerned about today in that Chicago-Milwaukee game, which kind of sucks because it's already a small slate. We don't have a lot to choose from. If that is the case, even with the wind blowing out, if that game does play, you're going to have some good opportunity for offense. Obviously, we like the Milwaukee side better. I will make Peralta a massive priority because the Cubs have been so bad. And I think I also will probably take some Cubs on the other side because I want to get a little bit different, not in the same lineups, of course. But overall, strategy-wise, I mean, the Yankees, Cincinnati rate to be the best stacks for me. The White Sox just behind. I think you can get a little bit lower ownership on San Diego against a pretty good pitcher in Thompson, but I think there's still upside for that offense. And then I think Tyon, who's been great, it's just such great hitting weather in KC today. I don't mind trying to take some KC bats to try and get a little bit lower ownership. And I don't think Tyon is going to be that popular myself, but I think that he's obviously a decent play, but only a 4.5K prop for each of the pitchers in this game. That's probably the game, the New York KC game that you want to target the most. To get off the board, I think that you could take some shots against Giolito for some of the cheap guys, but I don't really love it. So it's going to be an ownership driven slate, and it's going to depend a lot on that Milwaukee Chicago game. But again, check out truedfs.com. I've got all my plays, all my ownerships up there. We're doing our videos every day, obviously, and we'll be going live at 5:30 Eastern. So good luck to everybody out there. I hope you crush it, and let's have another great week. Good luck, everybody.